What's going on, everybody? It's been quite a while. Caleb Anderson here, Mountain Life 603. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for me real quick before we get into it. We're going to have another episode of the 4,000 Footer podcast. This week we're brought to you by Red Bull, because it's a little earlier in the day. Kerrigan action. Alright, I am more pissed about the amount of Red Bull that I just lost. Whiteface. Mount Whiteface, 4,000 feet, way down the bottom. They're calling this the shortest. Personally I thought Tecumseh was the shortest. But they say Isolation is 4,003 feet, and Tecumseh is 4,003 feet. They say Whiteface is 4,000 exactly. So, we're going to go with it. And, put Mount Whiteface on the board, because I have Dunner. So, with Whiteface, the best trip comes to mind. I've been up there a couple of times. The first time was with my cousin Russ. We did Passaconaway. Is it Passaconaway? Yeah, Passaconaway. I think it's Passaconaway. And Whiteface. And the second time we did Whiteface first. Second time, me, Chris, and Jason camped out at the bottom of Whiteface, and you can actually go back in my videos, scroll down through my videos, first hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and then scroll down through my old videos. And a couple years ago we camped out at the bottom of Whiteface, and Chris is just under 7 feet and takes up a lot of tent. We all slept in the tent, and I was the sandwich. You know, in bear country, whatever. I'll be in the middle. I'll get eaten last. So, I didn't sleep well. And we got up early, determined to see a sunrise. Well, it soon became clear that we were not going to see the sunrise. We went the wrong way in the dark. We went the wrong way. We ended up standing on these logs in the middle of this thick pine, about half high, and just like wondering where the hell we were, and pulled it up where I was able to pull it up on a map on All Trails. I luckily had service where we were on the side of Whiteface, and got us to the trail. But by that time, we were not seeing sunrise. So we could have slept in like I wanted to do, but we didn't. And we were just all beat. We were just so tired. Whiteface has a lot of false summits. And we went the long way. I can't quite remember off the top of my head how the long way goes compared to the short way, but I remember we went the long way. And it was just a good trip all in all. Whiteface is a great mountain, and I'd do it again. You could lookouts on Whiteface. Is there anything that I'm missing from that story? Other than being pissed because I didn't sleep. Yeah, and then it was just a slug. But scroll down through the videos. It was a great video. There's a great race in the middle of it. Liberty. I need to pause this video and make room. Liberty is one of the mountains that you see as you come into the Notch. If you don't know what the Notch is, that's in New Hampshire. Franconia Notch. There's a lot of notches in New Hampshire, but Franconia is probably the most... Where's Liberty right here? Franconia Notch is definitely the most well-known notch of New Hampshire. And Mount Liberty is pretty prominent in Franconia Notch. To your right, if you're coming north, to your left if you're looking south. It's pretty far south. So Franconia Ridge, if you start in the south, goes Mount Flume, Mount Liberty, I want to say Little Haystack, Lincoln, and then Lafayette. And Lafayette is 5,700 feet. Lincoln's like 5,000 feet, I think. Lincoln. Where's Mount Lincoln? Yeah, Lincoln's 5,000 feet. So, it's a giant mountain range, very well-known mountain range. It's not to be messed with. It's often looked at like if you could see it from the road, it must be safe. But in fact, there's a lot of times when you can't see it from the road. So just imagine the weather that needs to occur in order for you not to be able to see a mountain that's right in front of you. Like, worst weather in the world around here. Anyways, getting back on track. Liberty, 4,459 feet. First time I did it with my cousin. Again, we went up to, we have a saying in our wolf pack, where in our hike with the guys that I hike with, we say it's only a mile. You know, if there's a trail sign that says 1 mile this way, oh, it's only a mile, and it's some sarcasticness there, and that's because of this first trip we did. We did Flume and Liberty. That's a common little quick jaunt up to get some great views, great cliffs at the top of Flume, and then over to Liberty. Liberty is very prominent. So when you're coming up the notch, as I was saying, you're coming up the notch to the right. There's two pyramid style mountains, and Flume is the first one, Liberty is the second one. And they're, as the crow flies, only a mile apart. But there's quite a descent down Flume and an ascent up Liberty to get there. So the trail says it's 1 mile from as we climb up to Flume, summit of Flume. I don't know how high Flume is. Flume's not very high. Flume. Where's Mount Flume? 4,328 feet. And then you look over at Liberty. Oh, it's only a mile. And you go down, and then up. And it's crazy. It's like 2 miles probably because of all your descent and ascent. So we have a whole saying that we've been saying for 20 years now, it feels like, from that one trip. Oh, it's only a mile. So Liberty also, you know, I've brought friends up there for the first time, and if to do it, to get up into the Whites and to do the either the Franconia Ridge or just Flume and Liberty, it's incredible when you come out. You're kind of down in the trees. If you don't come up the fall, the slide. If you're in the trail and you're in the trees, and then there's just this steep little portion of granite, and then once you get to the top of that, it's this view like you can only imagine. I got pictures somewhere, and my computer's not up here right now, but incredible views from the summit of Liberty, and it's definitely a must. So prepare when you go up there, because it takes a while. It's up there, but it's worth it because it's very prominent, great views. I think 360 from Liberty, and from Flume it's only a mile. We'll do one more real quick. Zealand, one I have not done. We finally pulled one out I haven't done. Zealand, I don't even know where Mount Zealand is. I've heard of like Zealand Falls. I've been on the Zealand Falls trail before. And I think I've been to Zealand Falls. But I've never been to the summit of Zealand. And I'm pretty sure it's because, where the hell is it? I'm pretty sure over here, 4,240 feet. I'm pretty sure it's because I haven't done it because there's no view. And I just have this thing against doing mountains with no view. So we'll put that back in there and shake it up. Hopefully we don't get Zealand again. Whoa. Or spill any more Red Bull. We'll do one more. Lafayette. Man, I just keep pulling out big ones here. Do I have enough time left? Oh, shoot ya. Shoot ya, I got 20 minutes. 22 minutes. Lafayette. Lafayette, 5,240 feet, is the, like I was just saying, Franconia Ridge. It is the highest mountain that's not a president. And it just kind of sticks up there at the top of the range, top of the ridge, and it is extremely daunting. It's a big, big mountain, Lafayette. I've been on it a few times, been at it a few times. One that comes to mind, the last one that comes to mind, so there's two that come to mind. So I've done the Pemi Loop. The Pemigewasset Loop, 31 miles, 11 mountains, and the biggest, and right near halfway is Lafayette. So the first time I attempted the Pemi Loop, we went the opposite direction that people normally go, which is counterclockwise. No, clockwise. Yeah, clockwise. So we went up Flume first, and then over to Lafayette from there. Then after Lafayette, you get to Garfield, and Garfield is pretty much your halfway point on the Pemi Loop. And by the time we had gotten to the summit of Lafayette, so we didn't, the first time we tried the Pemi Loop in one day, we were just trying to get it done in one day. The first time we tried it, we didn't get water at the first two areas, at the first area, I believe, because we didn't want to go downhill the 0.3 that it was to get water and have to come back up. So instead, I was like, oh, there's a hut up at Lafayette, not realizing that this hut was like a mile down the side of Lafayette. And then you had to come back up the side of Lafayette and then go over Lafayette. So we, in a sense, did Lafayette twice the first time. And I remember getting down to that lodge and sitting underneath a porch because it was so hot, drinking nasty water that came out of the tap at this hut, and eating a Cliff Bar or something and looking up at that mountain and just like, man, what did we do? Like, damn, we gotta climb back up this mountain right now. And we did. Got to the summit, and I had it. I was, at that point, I thought we were spending the night. I was prepared to spend the night. I had my shoes off. I was just relaxing. Just wasting time. That trip was destined to fail. So the second time we did, not my second time to Lafayette, but because I've done Franconia Ridge Trail and just did Lafayette, a couple singles. But the second time that we tried the Pemi Loop, we accomplished it, but we went counterclockwise, as everybody's supposed to go. Did the Bonds first, and then the Twins, and then on Garfield. So you get to Garfield. Like I said, Garfield's halfway. And you've come, like, you can sit on Mount Garfield if you do the Pemi Loop. It's a task, 31 miles in one day. With all those mountains, like the elevation and the descent and all that. And you get to Garfield, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this mountain range, the Bond range, the Bond Ridge, that's to my left that we just came from. And that looks crazy. Guy out over here, and just this massive mountain range that we just came from. And then you can look to your right, and to your right is Lafayette. 5,000 feet up, it feels like. And the rest of the range to go, with the two pyramids, Flume and Liberty on the end. And that looks like a forever and a day away. But you know, that's the rest that you have to go. I seriously considered sitting down, and at this point this was definitely a day trip. I did not have means to stay in the night. But there was a hut close. I was even thinking it was a nice night. I could just sleep out there. I was thinking of every way to send the guys on while I stayed where I was, because I did not want to climb Lafayette. Lafayette just looked so big and daunting that I just couldn't even imagine that I had to climb this mountain right now. Because I had just come 15 miles, and looking up at Lafayette, I wanted to die. But I put my head down, and my cousin and my uncle ran off up the mountain, and I put my head down, and one foot in front of the other, I climbed that fucking mountain. And I have to say, it was one of like the defining moments in my life, like letting me know that I could do it. Before that, it was like climbing 2,000 or 3,000, 4,000 footers in a day seemed crazy. Now we were on our 9th, and more to go, and I just did, a 5,000 footer after 15 miles of up and downs, and 10,000 feet of elevation gain. We ended up with 18,000 feet of elevation gain that day. So that was really my biggest moment on Lafayette, was getting to the top and getting to the summit. And you're around all those people, and all those people have no idea. Most of those people have no idea what you're doing. 90% of them have no idea what you're doing and what you're going through. And it's like we're not just sitting up there and waiting for the sunset, which is, by all means, go for it, do it. That's what the mountains are there for. But knowing that we couldn't enjoy those things because we still had, at that point, 8 miles left to go. So defining moment in my hiking, for sure. Lafayette is very near and dear to my heart. So with that one, I'm going to sign off and say thank you for listening, and thank you for watching. Hope you tune in next time. Knocked a couple off the board, and hope you enjoyed the stories that go along with that. Lafayette, don't play with that one either. So please subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.